Dwelling on thoughts hurts progress, leads to sleepless nights, anxiety, and wasted potential. If I hadn't implemented systems that combat my tendency to overthink things, I wouldn't be sitting here today doing this video and sharing with you 3 strategies that help me stop overthinking and start taking action. So what is overthinking? It's when we obsessively think about problems or decisions just out of pure habit. The opposite of that would be taking impulsive action, though most people are more in the direction of overthinking things instead of taking immediate action. Overthinking can take many different forms, like overthinking decisions and things we've said in the past, and herefore things like mindfulness and accepting that certain things are outside of our control can be of great help. Though in this video I will be more sharing strategies that help me tackle overthinking the future and thereby getting paralyzed and not taking action towards the thing I've set out to do. The first thing is about understanding the impact of a decision. As I've read the book The Everything Store, an inside look at Amazon's story, I came across the one-way door and two-way door decision framework, which at the end categorizes decisions into 2 types. First, the one-way door decision, which are high-stake, hard-to-reverse decisions, like switching your career. And they require good analysis due to their long-term impact. And two-way door decisions, which have lower stakes and are easily to reverse, like switching to a new hobby. They can be made quickly and changed easily afterwards. This framework helped me a lot to stop overthinking, because realizing that most of the decisions are two-way door decisions and are therefore easily to reverse and change. The next is the 10-10-10 strategy, described in the book by Susie Welch, and at the end it categorizes the decision and the impact of it into 3 different time horizons. So think about the decision and its impact 10 days from now, then its impact 10 months from now, and the consequences of it in 10 years from now. And the last thing are your values, where you think about who will be impacted by the decision and if the decision is in alignment with your values, and then see if it's really worth obsessing about that decision or if it's just to make a decision and move on quickly and go into action. The next strategy is about breaking perfectionism. So how do you approach that? The first thing is setting a deadline. And let's say you do a thing what you have never done before, so it's really hard to set a deadline. Take something that sounds really optimistic for you. The goal here is to set some boundaries and remind ourselves that we need to finish something in a certain time frame. And thereby we go against the Parkinson law, which at the end says that if you give, let's say, doing a presentation 1 week, it will take 1 week. If you give it 3 days, you will get it done in 3 days. And that's what we're trying to do here with setting these boundaries and setting a deadline. The next thing is, when you're in the process, is to think about the perspective. So knowing that you have this deadline, and then you start to obsess about like a tiny thing in the project, that you put it into perspective. Does it really matter that much? Does it have that big of an impact? Or is it much smarter to leave it at this good level and go to the next thing and put your time into things that are actually producing a higher return of investment? And hereby also, it is never that, okay, if I now put that aside, I can never come back to it and improve it, but is to get it done. You can always then come back later and improve it. I also try to remind myself of done is better than perfect, to break my perfectionistic tendencies, to save time and to get into action by seeing that nothing is perfect, and remembering that the goal is to get into action. And the last strategy is trusting your intuition. This last strategy might come by a little surprise, because trusting your intuition is often seen as unreliable or mythical, but it has actually a solid neurological foundation. When making a decision, the brain actually collaborates with the gut to collect memories, experiences, personal needs, preferences to arrive at the best decision for the given context. As a study shows that car buyers who use their intuition to make buying decisions were happy about 60% of the time, versus those who used their analytical skills to make a buying decisions were only as happy as a quarter of the time. That being said, it is a habit that needs to be trained and trusted, especially with those under us who like to think before they go into action. And therefore, it can be of great help if we start really small. Practice using your intuition for smaller decisions first, and then build up trust and move on to bigger and bigger ones down the road. As it is for me, I'm still trying to implement this strategy, but I think it will be really worth it, because down the road it will become a habit and therefore increasing the efficiency really well in the long run. With that, we reach the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and we see each other in the next one.